Hello ladies, it's Crafty Kim 62 here, and this is for an event that's coming up on the face group swap of Simply Craft and Swap, and it is going to be a little brag book, memory book, and it's going to be one of the technique videos that we'll be learning a new technique on how to bookbind an album. So these are the two that I've made yesterday. This is my practice one. So it is a simple twine binding, but we have stitched it in the middle and used the stitching as the closure. So that was my prototype, and then this one has already been done. Added charms to the closure, made the closure a little bit longer because I thought as the book builds up with memories and things, it would be simpler if you had a longer twine binding for you to use. There's envelopes, and this is the one that I will be sending, so I'm leaving it blank, but I've popped little sayings and words into the envelopes with gems and coordinating colours and various bits and bobs, so they will be sent out. And so I'll just fasten this quickly. And they're at the back of the little album, brag book, and keep a daily record. And there's tags in the front that you can, did these on my graphics program, so these are a little bit rough and ready, but there's various double-sided, so you can put your entries in. And there's pretty roses, and as I said, this is from Rebecca Young, and it's the epoxy resin stickers that are clear that you make things pop. So it's on the postcard there, it's on the front with the date, and that's that. So I've decided to do different papers. I'll just move this one out of the way. So on the papers that I'm using, it is the Do Crafts Paper Mania owl folk, and you can see it's all kinds of owl papers and feathers and things. So the papers do come single-sided, so that's the decorative side and that's that side. So I have spent a little time just making them into double-sided sheets. Now I'm not going to trim at the moment. All I'm going to do is, so I've got three of those double-sided with a same coordinating paper, and then three of the blue owl ones, again with the same coordinating paper on the back. The other thing that you will need is your scoreboard. Now, I've used, this is a good way of, I accumulate a lot of twine, then because I buy it every time I see it. And so these ones, the brown and the green twine, I'm going to use them together as a stronger stitch for the book. So that's that. And then if you've got a Big Bite crocodile from We Are Memory Keepers, I've had this many years now. It's not the up-to-date colour, but it's well loved. And I've used the large opening hole punch, and this goes through tin and mount board whatever level you've got, it'll go through. It's got all of the rulers here as well, so if you can invest in one of these. I've noticed that they've practically tripled in price since I bought mine, so that might be you know, one to save up for, but it is fabulous. But you don't have to use that. The good old pokey tool is another way of putting your holes in, so that is fine. So it's a simple pokey tool will be great for doing this as well. So the next thing, I'm just using my Martha Stewart board because it's to hand, and you're firstly going to, these papers are 8 1/4, so that means I want 4 1/8. So I'm just going to score them all and fold. I'll do them this way so you can see. So really you're just giving, the score is just to give you a little guide as to where it's in half. It doesn't really matter because with the type of book that you're going to be doing, you will need to trim. If you don't want to trim, that's fine because it will add to the book itself. If you want it more distressed looking, I've roughed up the edges on my sample ones and inked the edges as well in coordinating Timpulse colours, and I used the Vintage Photo Iced Spruce and Walnut Stain. So I used all those three for when I came to do the distressing. So again, just line them up. Use your score line as the guide. Last one. The pages can be as many as you like. I've done 6. So I'm going to have the owl as my front page, and then I'm going to have a coordinating one next door, and then again that one, and again that one, and that one, and then that one. So the middle one will look the same, but all of your other pages will be different and alternate. So you'll see as you put the book in, can you see how you get the edges? So that's why you don't trim everything until you've actually got it stitched, and then it's just a simple trim of all of the pages back and front, so you get a flat side. If you wanted to keep them like that, then that's fine, but it's always nice to trim it off. So keeping all of those pages together, just move my board, and I'm going to go 2 inches in on the fold line. I'm going to go 2 inches in on one side, keeping all of the pages together, and again on the fold line, 2 inches in. And then with this one being the one that's for the 12 by 12 scrapbook, you can actually go straight into a 12 by 12 book, and you can find the centre mark of a sheet of 12 by 12. This pattern has actually got lines on, so it's equal measurements, so I'm going to put that one right into the middle of that line, and then you'll see that I've got 3 holes in there. So keeping those to one side, what I will use, just to keep the holes together, I'll just put my pokey tool in so they don't splay and lose their hole points. So all I'm going to do with, I'm just going to put that light on because it's raining outside and the window has gone a little bit dark. So I'm just going to tie a knot in the two ends of the twine. Doesn't have to be neat because you'll be, and then I'm just going to by eye take off a length of twine and tie a knot in this. So I'm going to start from the outside in, just neaten that off again so they're all the same size. So I'm just going to put that one in, just pull it so I've got a nice length to fold the book, and then put it through the middle, the other end. So that is your first stage. And this is how it looks on the other side. So I'm just going to put that one, twiddle it round, pokey tool, the pages have moved, join all the holes together. Put that one in. That. So this one now goes through the middle again. Just move your thread out the way, line up all of your holes, feed this one through, make your threads even. And that is the centre complete. It's really just a back running stitch as if you were doing on a machine. So turn it round to the front and you'll see you've got a gap here. So all you need to do is put this one through the loop at the top, pull it down, and you'll see that you've got two sides now, and all you need to do is tie these in a knot, pull it tight but don't spoil your holes. It's a double knot, and then one way and then the other way. Sounds like a Blondie song. And tie it. There is the fastening, and now all we have to do is tidy up these edges and add all of the decorations. So all I do for the tidying up of the edges is I use the front cover and I just make, try and do it this way, a pencil mark for the next one. And I use my large Tim Holtz scissors for this with a serrated edge, because this is nice and quick. Open it up and you'll see that the first one is fine, but then it's slightly on the second one. So again, in all true card making techniques, use your front cover as the guideline for the next one. So open up the next one and use the front cover for the next one, and so on until you've got all of them done. Right, while I busy do this, I'll just chat away to you. This can be decorated in any way that you want. I did put a pocket envelope in the front to add some tags and made some coordinating tags with the coordinating paper so that matched, and then on the back I made some envelopes, some little album sized envelopes, and I added some words that I created on my graphics program, so they are all meaningful words and they will fit anybody's life experiences that you want to put into a brag book, like memories and treasured home and things like that. So as you see, I'm coming to the end. I'll just get rid of all of these scraps out of the way. And there you have your brag book with the neatened edges. So from the same pad, the ones that are still single-sided, these ones I'll make the tags out of, and the envelopes. Now I've used this one before. I made some jewellery with some bottle caps, so these owls fit perfectly into the bottle caps. So I'm just going to I always have these tucked in the side of my, I just twiddle it around and you can see the mess as well, but I have everything that I need in front of me, and I have these envelope templates tucked in between the drawers, so they are to hand. So I'm just going to twiddle these over, and I'm just going to line the square end up to, and I'll just quickly draw around. Again, I like to use big scissors when I'm cutting out, so, and I like to cut inside the line of the pencil so I don't have to rub out anything that is left behind. So I'm not going to throw that piece away because I can use that again. So then just fold your edges in. Fold the bottom up. And for good old glossy accents, to glue the envelope together because it's quick grab. And I think I must have left my top off for a bit too long. I always have a stack of pins ready. So just along the edge. Just along the edge, hold it for a moment, quickly do the other one. These envelopes, once you've got a template, are so quick and easy. If I had a mind, I should really do a batch. And then they're always to hand, but as we all know, we are never that organised. And again, I always cut off the excess of anything that I'm cutting off, so you don't have the worry of fiddling about And if you're new to cutting, I believe America call it fussy cutting, but always remember you move the paper rather than the scissors. So whatever shape, whether you're doing decoupage or simple cutting out, all you do is you move the paper rather than the scissors. So again, the sides first. Bottom. A bit of glue down that side and that side. And then fold the top over. And I use the same for the knot in the end. A good length. And again another one. Knot in the end. Not in this end. This stops it from fraying. It is twine, so it is many. So there's the knot down to the other end. Knot it again. Just move these out of the way. So then turn your envelopes over. And you've got your two clasps. Then I'm just going to run it down the centre. Find the centre point of my twine, pop it on. Centre point of the twine, pop it on. And then I'll move over to some double-sided tape where you can find the end. Cover your twine, the edges, a little bit in the middle. Do that on both of them. Whatever I have left, I normally just pull it off, you know, a guess length, and then whatever spare I use in the spaces. So I'll just bring the book over. And I'm going to the back again, and I'm just going to take off the double-sided tape. All crafters are in fear of losing their thumbnail, because that is our double-sided sticky tape taker-offer. So I'll give that a good stick, press down, tie it in a little bowl. You can add charms onto the end of this as well. I'll just take off and again putting the flap to the centre, lining it up. And then just tie a knot and a bow to keep it all in place. So this is where you're going to put your embellishments, your words and anything that you would like to put into the notebook. And then I'm just going to do the tag pocket at the front. I'll just move that to one side. So I've got, just remind me of, because obviously you want it different to the two sheets, so I'm going to use the feather one and another owl one. So again, this is for the tags and the tag envelopes. Sorry, the mess is getting in the way. So on this one, using my tag envelope again. Sorry, I may sound a little bit puzzled, but my bag of templates for my little miniatures seems to have disappeared. Where could I have put them? Yes, they were hiding. So this is actually, I don't know whether the UK ladies will know, but this is a template set from Leonie Pujul, and she's now a presenter on Create and Craft, and this is off one of her things many years ago when she did ATCs, and this is one of her craft sets for ATCs. So I'm going to make sure that I get my owl facing the right way, and I'm just going to draw around the template. Again, just cut that off, cut the sides off. And anything for easiness, so before I go in and out of everything, I take off the excess on the square lines first, and then I go around on the other parts. The template actually has, that's the where you pull them out, that's to give you the gap, but I do have a Martha Stewart single hole punch, which is perfect for that, so I'm going to go a little bit further down, and I'm just going to check when I do my fold whether I want to do the back one or not. Yes, I am. So I'm just going to go in there again and take that off, fold that one up. Again, I'm going to use the wet glue. This is my favourite, is Glossy Accents, and along the bottom again, press it all down, secure the edges, and for quickness again I'm just going to, on the back side, so on the front I've got the, I'm just going to place that towards the bottom, and then that will give me options as to what size tags that I want to go in. So that is that, and you'll see that using your template on there, I'm just going to do it by eye, so I'm going to take it up to that feather. I'm going to cut a straight line and then fit that in. See how deep I want to make it. together. Just going to straighten it up as I did it inside. And if you've got the We Are Memory Keepers chomper, this is the angle one for the photo. So I'm just going to put two ends, and for the tag, since this is on my desk, I'm just going to punch it with a hole. I'm going to make several of those that will go in add the coordinating ribbon, and then that will be that. So I'll just move these out of the way so I can show you in more detail. Always put, sorry it's a bit chilly here, I've had to put my shawl on because it is raining outside and it is pretty bad. I'll just move these out of the way. Templates. Even though we crafters do try to be tidy, we never tidy everything. So try to keep everything to hand, but in a tidy state. One of these days I'll pluck up courage to do a video of my workspace and what I have around me, and it all makes me happy. So all of this needs now is, so do them in opposite sides when you come to do. I'm just going to tuck those in. So round, bring it to the front, round to the back, bring it to the front, and then we can, sorry, shall I do that again? Keep them in different directions. So that one's going around the back, this one's going around the front, and I've got enough for it to grow, and also add some charms on. I've got some little owl charms in my jewellery stash, so I will add that. I'm going to neaten up the corners. I think I'm going to put some round corners on. I think I'll do that, just to give you an idea. But again, this is a chomper by We Are Memory Keepers, and that gives you a nice rounded edge on all of the corners. So I will make my way through that. I will fill the bags at the tags at the front, and I will fill the envelopes at the back with embellishments and sentimental words and things for people to add their photographs. And that is the simple form, but you can jazz it up if you want to do photo mats on the pages, alternate pages, then that is fine. If you want to do blank journaling mats, then that's fine as well. You can make it as intricate or as different as you like, or make it plain and simple using double-sided papers to make the wow factor. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you found it of interest, and there'll be more binding for books, albums in the future. Many thanks. Kim saying goodbye now. Bye bye.